The Coalition for Algoma Passenger Trains, or CAPT, is slated to present an update on the Bear passenger train at tonight's City Council meeting. Board member Dean Anderson has had an idea to improve economic development and give life back to passenger rail between the Soo and Hearst, which has been absent for the past 3 years now. Anderson owns the Catalina Motel here in the Soo and says he's lost a lot of business since the Bear train from the Soo to Hearst has been shut down. Catalina Motel used to host snowmobilers who took the train to Hearst and rode back into the Soo. Anderson will ask the city if they could take either some or a significant portion of the accommodation tax which they receive from hotels and put it towards the Bear train so that the Missinaibi Cree First Nation, who are hoping to take over the rail line, can get it back up and running. Board Chair Dorothy McNaughton said the First Nation has been in talks with CN. They're ready to get things moving. All they need is startup funding. McNaughton added that this concept is sort of multifaceted. The city would help fund to get that train up and running, and then the Missinaibi Cree First Nation could also run the tour train if CN decides they want to get out of it. McNaughton said that would allow more opportunity for economic development, with people potentially spending more money at the Agawam Canyon by taking the tour train up and the Bear passenger train back. The controversy around the future of the MS Noragoma will be brought back to the table during tonight's City Council meeting. A resolution in the agenda requests that the St. Mary's Marine Heritage Centre be served notice to move the ship out of the Bondar Marina and is asking for the city's approval to move it to a temporary location behind Algoma Steel, which was made available to the city by Purvis Marine. The Marine Heritage Centre will be required to move the Noragoma as soon as weather and ice conditions permit, with a deadline of April 15th. Deputy CAO Tom Vare wrote in a report that this site will be inaccessible to the public, but will provide a temporary location that removes the vessel from the marina and enables the new dock project to proceed. According to this resolution, all costs to move the ship must be footed by the Heritage Centre, running an estimated $50,000. The boat will be allowed 1 year at Purvis Marine and must be insured by the owner during the entire duration, as well as for the tow through the Soo locks to Algoma Steel. The report also says that if the Heritage Centre should become insolvent as a result of this activity, the ownership and responsibility for the vessel reverts back to the city. Well, it was only a matter of time. The 100-plus-year-old smokestack that stood as an iconic structure in the downtown area has come down. Earlier this week, the building at the base of the stack was demolished following the roof and wall collapse from heavy snow loads. Owner of the property, River's Edge Developments, had no choice but to bring the stack down as soon as possible. It was deemed unsafe. On Saturday morning, crews pushed the 12-story stack down with just one knock from a bulldozer. The stack was originally built by the Sioux Falls Brewing Company, then sold to the Dorans family in 1913. They sold to Canadian Breweries in 1977. The company became defunct in 2006. Chaos erupted at Toronto Pearson International Airport last evening after a fire near a security checkpoint led to authorities to evacuate the area. But within a few hours, operations were starting to return to normal. Pearson Airport announced on Twitter that all U.S.-bound flights from Terminal 1 were canceled for the rest of the night. Another post read that outbound international and inbound arrivals processing had resumed just after 10 p.m. The blaze broke out around 6:30 and was extinguished a short time later. Photos posted on social media showed thick smoke in parts of the airport, and television footage showed frustrated passengers crowding the terminal's main concourse. Paramedics and one woman was taken to hospital in stable condition, while another was treated at the scene and released. Police say no major injuries were reported, and crews were working to clean up damage from smoke and water. Meantime, dozens of inbound flights were stranded on the tarmac for hours as crews worked to ensure the terminal was safe for re-entry. One passenger arriving from Barbados tweeted that there were 22 planes ahead of hers. After finishing first in the NOJHL standings with a record of 44 wins, 11 losses, and only one shootout loss, the Sioux Thunderbirds began postseason action on Saturday night at the John Rhodes. They took on the Blind River Beavers in Game 1 of the NOJHL's West Division semifinal series. The Thunderbirds opened up the series with a victory as they doubled up the Beavers by a score of 4-2. The OHL regular season is officially in the books after yesterday's conclusion of the 2018-19 campaign, with the Hounds picking up a 5-2 win over the Saginaw Spirit. The Hounds closed out the season against their West Division rival, who ousted the Hounds for top spot and never looked back, claiming the title of division champs.